Hey everybody. Okay, so now we're going over the 3 of 3 for this arc that included Sarah, well, Sarah Pazzini and Laura Croft, which I did not know until a couple months ago, about a month and a half ago. But now I got the books. This is the third one. Let's just go right into it. I like it when he does these opening shots with like the half face. He did it on the first one. The second one started out with just a full face of the bad guy, Vanna, bad lady, whatever. Um, so this is kind of catching up like how Laura got met up with Cannon, um, which is basically how they got them, Laura and Sarah, to meet up with, because Laura and Sarah already knew each other, but that's how um, they got to get involved in Aspen Matthews' world. So this is a while ago when she's still trying to build her reputation. She got contracted to do a job that this previous guy he wasn't he wasn't getting back to. This guy's name's Antonio. He wasn't getting back to him, so obviously he like failed. There's she's swimming down this called like the sire. I don't know what the heck a sire is, but this is a sire, I guess. There's some like technology there, some like what do you call, like an on submarine kind of looking thing. She swims up closer and she looks a little shocked there. um, and then we see there's a guy with a octopus on his face. The octopus is probably trying to wake the guy up, like, hey, you don't belong down here. I don't know. And then she sees in the hand of this thing these tiny panels that it's holding that orb that she needs. Uh, yeah, I love how Michael Turner draws hands. Him and Joe Mad draw really good hands. I mean, there's a lot of artists, of course, that draw really good hands, but those two stand out to me. And then, so Michael Turner, he doesn't like sound effects, the onomatopoeia, whatever, in his comics. So of course, there's no sound effects here. But I wouldn't have when I was reading this, I didn't know what was going on. She's kind of sticking around there, even right there. It's like I could tell now after reading the text. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known that she's these rocks fell on her. Otherwise, it just kind of looks like, okay, now she's scooting out of this little area because she had to scoot in to pick that up. I don't know. It took me a little bit out of the story. I think if there was a sound effect right there, it would have worked. But yeah, he doesn't like him. So anyway, she's like passing out right here, and then she wakes up, and we got Cannon Hawk, good looking dude that she wakes up to. He saved her. They're on, this is her boat, and he's it's funny. This must be the girl's eye candy here, because he's like in a little speedo and he's got some see-through mesh whatever on the on the side of his belt. Um, and yeah, Laura's taking him in. But yeah, then he starts explaining about the this orb thing, because what's her face? Laura doesn't know about it. He says it's called Urdrin's Eye, named for the hero who swore to guard the temple at Boliashi, and when duty called him away, he left one eye behind to watch over the place. Or so the legend goes. So the stone has been lost for a long time. So I mean, I guess that hero took his eye out and left to guard over something when he went to go to do a fight or something, which is weird. I mean, usually these buyer guys, as far as I know, like, they know what they're looking for. So how come this guy didn't know all the legend about it or explain it to her? I mean, I guess that's neither here nor there. We're getting on with the story. Let's see. And then Laura Croft is like trying to be all cutesy, I guess. She goes, takes the eye from him while she's talking, and then in the middle of talking to him, she pushes Cannon Hawk off the boat, and she says she owes him because he saved her life. I don't know, like they're in the middle of nowhere. I suppose, like, because this boat looks like it's in the middle of nowhere, and then Cannon Hawk appears on it, so she just pushes him off. like, I mean, if he could appear out of nowhere, of course he should be able to handle himself. So that's why she doesn't think twice about it, pushing someone off in the middle of nowhere and then leaving with the boat and adjusting the camera there. And then, like, I never played the Tomb Raider video games. I think I played one of those sample discs that come free when you buy a PlayStation. Like, it was just one level and she was in a cave. And so I never played the games. I don't know what her personality is really like. Um, but so she's explaining to this guy in the native about that um, uh, orb. She says, in the native tongue, they call it Aiden's eye. It was supposed to be Eardrins. After the hero whose fate was sealed in the tentacles of a giant octopus, the beast's squeeze was so powerful it turned Aiden's eyes to gems and shot them right out of his skull. Or so the legend goes. So she's like, I mean, I thought she was an anthropologist. I thought she took that stuff serious, like she wants to know everything about whatever artifacts she's finding. And she's just kind of making a joke about it. I guess that's more for like the reader, maybe just to get some levity in there, but I don't know. I think it's for her character, it makes her seem like a bit of a goofball. And then over here in the shadows, we got Cannon Hawk. He's like, fascinating, a giant octopus, you say, because he knows the story that he just told her. And then she's looking like, oh, he caught me. Like, this is like the Mento end of a Mentos commercial. She looks down sheepishly. And then we get this knowing smile of Cannon Hawk, like, oh, you crazy. And this, I love this transition too, because he's all good looking, dashing. Then they switch over to how he looks now, and he's just in rough shape. He's seen better days. And now Vanna's saying she's gonna kill him. Because he's just so homely, I guess. She would leave him alive if her son lived through, which is, I guess, the plan was for her to transfer Cannon Hawk's body into Arteris into Cannon Hawk's body. Then Cannon Hawk, he would still be like alive. He'd be seeing everything Terrace sees, but he'd have no control. Kind of, it's really similar to that movie Get Out by Jordan Peele or Jordan Key, whatever his name is. I get because they have that show Key and Peele, or they had it. But I think it's Jordan Peele. Anyway, it was kind of like that, like those people were stuck in somebody's mind, but they could see everything, but they couldn't do anything about it. And then this was, May of 2002. Well, I mean, originally it was, dropped my comics. July. This came out in June, but of 2000. So a lot of years before that. I don't know. I wonder. I'm not saying that this influenced them at all, but like maybe just like some parallel thinking or something. I don't know. Anyway, so she's gonna kill him. Oh, and there's another cool transition. So this transition to that I thought was pretty good. Oh yeah, what's his face? Cannon. He says some stuff that only Terrace would know, I guess. He says, "I walked before I crawled." He's making these zombie noises. More good hands. I like that hand. I like this hand. Then anyway, she's like, "What? Only Terrace? Like he would only be the only one that say something like that?" And it's close up on her face, and we also see these I don't know, flying vehicles kind of searching around, and then we go to a close up of the flying vehicles searching around. I don't know. I guess their tech is so good that these things could just hover around no problem, but their scopes can't see through a certain amount of ice. I guess the ice, they must, like, these girls are, they assume that they're either hiding too far under the ice that they can't see, or I mean, for their technology that can't see, or else they're on the other side of the island. So then they're gonna just look with their eyes, like old school, it says, the old fashioned way, and go lower and do a pass around this big ice block that they're on. And let's see. Oh, I was gonna go over this real quick because this is like the first page where they have the girls that they just took out of the comic here. And also, because Laura came and brought these guys jackets, they revert her back to her shirt because she wouldn't be there for the jacket. Thought that was a little interesting. And then they just basically cut this page out. Let me see. Oh, okay, they didn't cut it out, but they made, let's see, that part of Aspen much bigger right there. Looks pretty cool. And of course, I think they took out these silhouettes here of the gals, and then they made, yeah, let me move this over. Yeah, they made that panel a little bigger, took out the silhouettes, and took this panel out right, or no, they cropped the girls out from from that panel. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty funny, and the story seems to work still, except for, I mean, I'll bring up the point. Okay, then these guys are, so they had to go get weapons from Cannon's vehicle, and this is some of the stuff, the kind of new technology that Turner wanted to draw, or he's excited about drawing, and up here too, that you can see some more of them flying vehicles, and he was probably talking about the buildings too, maybe, that he wanted to draw and bring out. But for the guns, they basically do the same thing. And this I thought was kind of funny. Okay, so this guy finds these guys that are sneaking up on to break Cannon out. So Laura just shoots a gun and blows that thing. I don't know, an engine or whatever that thing has. But it's funny because he's like yelling, "Oh, electrical failure!" It's like electrical failure, or you just took damage from a gun, probably. Um, so, anyways, it goes down and crashes because, I mean, it looks like it's really close, but I guess it was pretty far up here. So now it crashes, makes an explosion. These girls, or Aspen, I think, flew away. That's her with her big arm that she has some armor on. These two girls got tossed to the side when they encountered a blast from the ship. All right, so this whole page is not in the book, just because, I mean, it just only has Witchblade on there, and she was having trouble getting her Witchblade to even do anything. It explains why it wasn't doing anything, but I mean, even, I don't know, even over here when Fathom is first introduced, she was explaining like that she's having to expend more energy in order to keep the Witchblade under control. So that was even before she went into a new environment, because I guess that's what Witchblade does. It adapts to its environment, so it's not responding in this environment because it's never been in there. Anyway, she's like spying on these guys. Meanwhile, this must be like another tunnel on the opposite side because these guys act like nothing's happening. And then these guys over here are shooting at Aspen and Laura, and Laura's like, "You can't just shoot everyone." And then Laura's like, "Spare me the moral crisis and start pulling your weight," which is funny because she's the only one without, any supernatural powers. But all right, real quick, just wanted to show that they took out the silhouettes from the girls when they got, because originally it was, I'll just show it. Originally it was these two getting jumping out of the way or getting blown out of the way from this, and yeah, they took out these two panels and just made that panel bigger, so that's why it looks a little pixelated in this version. All right, and so then when these guys are fighting, they're fighting these two guys. They took out one of these guys, and they cropped out what's her face, Laura. And then here's probably the only difference I've seen with the guns. I haven't seen this gun before, so it like shoots out this big blue ball, hits the guy, and then this little yellow ball follows up and just kills him in a, looks like a horrific way, because I mean, and it's funny too because like Laura's saying, just start shooting people, and she shoots them. And it seems like a much quicker way to go for that guy, as opposed to this thing that she got. She like it looks like this, this dude looks like he's suffering before he dies. It's pretty gross. Um, and that's like another kind of a cool segue into this scene. Like the same face. This guy looks just terrified or like he's in a lot of pain. But Vanna, she's talking off screen here. Says, "Hang on, Terrace. If you can just hang on through the pain, I can pull you back out of Cannon. But you have to be strong, baby, because this is going to hurt." And it, I don't think you need to say that because we could see it. The dude looks like he's screaming. And then here's Vanna uh, running the machine there of the two guys. Okay, and then Laura, she gets caught while she was, I don't know, spying or waiting to attack or something. And he goes, "Oh, I didn't know what a ballast was, so I had to look that up." And it said something like it's the uh, the dry rocks, I think, part of concrete, or like the gravel part of a road. Whenever they put gravel on a road, I'm probably butchering that, but anyway, ballast is basically the useless stuff, I guess. And then so he says, just throw her in and practice on her. I guess they're practicing their ice technique stuff. And then Sarah Pazzini's thinking to herself, "Okay, Witchblade, if your grand plan is to die as an ice cube, you've succeeded. Thanks a ton." And these pages aren't even in the book, and especially not this one. This is like the coolest page spread out of the book to me, because the hair. I mean, I love how Turner draws hair underwater, and this design of Witchblade looks awesome. I haven't seen any kind of designs that he's done where with the kind of, I don't know, I guess you'd see these fin types on some uh, exotic, what do you call them, underwater sea creatures, which he's which he's, I never seen that kind of design before. I think when Fathom gets her black suit, she has a design similar to this. But yeah, that's cool. The Witchblade is just taking its time to adapt to its surrounding. That's why. And then she kills those guys, and her and Barana are gonna have a scrap. And great, tasteful shot here of her can. It's like mostly covered up, very classy. And yeah, good shot of Barana standing there, all imposing looking. Okay, then we got Vanna. These two are staring at her, and apparently she pulled out. Um, let's see. I'm gonna grab from the other comic here. Okay, this is her son Terrace, and he's like all intact now. So she's like, Terrace, speak to me. So he's probably like alive and just needs to kind of wake up. But okay, this is Terrace. He's like, his face skin is missing. His eyes are way up in his forehead, or even if they're there, I don't know. But the dude is dead. He's gone. He's like, rotting. And she even says right here, "You alone won't be enough to bring him back." She'll be needing Aspen's help as well, or to suck her life force molecules, whatever. But anyway, so she pulls him back, no problem, and he even looks better canon. Like, so use his life force. Like, if she could have done that, I don't get it. Why she didn't just do that in the first place? Weird. I guess yeah. The wrapping up the story wasn't the best. I like the story how it was kind of building up for 12 and 13 better than how they're like wrapping it up now. Even in the other version, it's the story kind of goes the same way. She says she needs Cannon and Aspen to bring him back, but he comes back just off of this guy's life force, I guess. The only thing is, I don't know, I guess maybe if she wanted him to suffer, like she said, to get him completely put into Terrace's body. I don't know. It's just move past that, I guess. Let's see. Not really skipping much. They took this scene out. Or no, what am I saying? They kept it, trying to get rid of that glare. It's just they took out what's her face and made Aspen's head bigger. And then we go to that next page right here. So instead of Laura running over to get the work on the machine, we got Aspen working on the machine. Um, Aspen shoots this thing that killed that guy in a cruel way. She shoots it at Vanna, and of course, Vanna, she's stronger than any of the weapons, and because they're Aspen and Vanna are both stronger than the weapons, they have to duke it out. Took out the Witchblade panel completely from this page, and also this page, a lot of moving around the panels. This was originally a double page splash, but they couldn't keep that panel, so they turned it into a single page splash ish, which I like more. I mean, just because they get rid of that crease. I'm not that big a fan of double page spreads. But then they made this panel much bigger on here. That's why it looks a bit pixelated there. Yeah, so they're scrapping, and so was Witchblade. She got on this page. She got punched by Barana. Like she shoots her stuff at him, he shoots his stuff, and then also clocks her. So she's down, and he says something like he wants to take that gauntlet from her. And then the next fight scene between them is right over here. It's a blast shooting up past him, and he says, "You missed," which that took me out of the story a little bit because I had to figure out. I thought I missed a panel. I think that they could have at least included her hand, so we could definitely tell that it's her shooting that. And of course, this helicopter-looking thing just buckled for whatever is holding it up and smashes him. And we assume he dies because we see these things falling, icicles falling down on him, and he's like right there, and whatever got stabbed is out of the panel, off panel. All right, and this panel of what's her Laura holding cannon, and then Terrace is still in the ice block. She shoots something, says you guys aren't leaving anywhere. Vanna shoots at Aspen. Really cool face. I like the hair. Of course, always has to be moving, makes everything look more visual interest. And looks like she turned it to ice or diamond or something to deflect it, and she kills her son. No, Terrace, I've killed you. And then Sarah's like, what's wrong with her? She lost. We better get going. And she's like looking at her son, who starts melting into water, I guess. And she's upset. That's an awesome scene of her. I think she's just eliminating herself. I don't know. Actually, she could probably come back because it doesn't explicitly say she's offed herself. Let me grab this book real quick. I just wanted to show. This is a pretty similar page, except they took out Laura holding cannon here. They even took out what's her face there. Man, I keep forgetting their names. I say them all the time. Aspen. She even took out Aspen from that panel. And then from this bottom panel, they cropped out these guys. So it's funny. And of course, the place is blowing up, so they all have to run and jump out of this. Looks like a building, but it's just an iceberg. Then the Witchblade finally reacting to him, grabs onto here like a spider web and has them all caught up. And it's like I think it's like a funny scene, just how like Laura, they're all like kind of caught off guard. And I think the scene itself is funny. I don't think they needed to add too much commentary like this little joke here. It's like I don't know what they're talking about, but this part. Do you guys always act this casual, hanging 100 feet above a pile of jagged rocks? We're getting better with practice. But, I don't know. That's neither here nor there, I guess. But they took that page out completely, obviously, because it would look weird that they're hanging upside down by Witchblade's powers, I guess. I don't know. This is probably the most, because like I said, I didn't notice. I just thought that they were probably in a hurry. They kind of combine. Okay, so this page, it was, you know, pixelated. It's like, oh, they must have been in a hurry. They just drew it really small and then made it bigger. But they took out these panels. They took out that page. And then this panel, they made it really huge. So it looks really pixelated. And all I thought was, man, they must have just been in a hurry. Then they took out these two panels here. They kept this bottom half, and that panel looks like for this. Get that glare off of there. So pretty interesting. And then they kept that page because it was all intact. It was just Terrace and what's his face. But I mean, that's kind of a common trope too, you know, like where, okay, we got rid of the whatever was infecting this person, but then there's like a little remaining remnant or whatever in this guy's psyche. I think they did that at the end of first season of Stranger Things, and like a lot of other movies and TV shows. So then we go into the letters page, and again, I don't know. Peter Steigerwald must have been getting a lot of letters that were just aimed towards him, maybe, to where they were like, okay, well, you get a new letter section from the regular Fathom, which Renee Gerlings is in control. She's the one who's answering back all these letters. Or I don't know. That's just my guess. He announces two winners from this contest that they had of like try to come up with an original way to get people aware of Top Cow comics. This John Ortiz guys, I thought this was pretty interesting. He had a Tap That Talent, they called it, program for where does it say? Setting Top Cow medium, encourage writing and artistic skills and enforce the importance of fun and literacy. Covers all aspects of comics, from art to history. Okay, so it's a high school program, after school program, and they would have like fan art contests. It says in here that they would post up at dragonskeep.com / or whatever. Back in 2002, we had to type all this stuff in whenever it told you where to look. Now you can just take a picture and, you know, press the text button or whatever, and then he'll take you to that site. I looked for it. Dragonskeep.com is still there, but wherever the pictures were, I couldn't find that. That's pretty cool, yeah. So, and it's also in Provo, Utah. It looked like it had 3 other locations in Utah as well. So that's good. Comic store is still around. And then this guy won because he had it on his license plate. He said people would ask him about it, and he would just tell them about where he gets comics, his Top Cow comics, and something like that. So they both won 7 covers of some signed by a bunch of people. It says they'll ship them out as soon as they're done signing. A set signed and numbered. 2 out of 10 people in the whole world. Anyway, whatever. He says they still need to be signed before he sends them out. But there's going to be 10 winners, doing 2 at a time for each issue, which is a little funny because after this issue, I think that's when Turner and his team break off from Top Cow. So I don't know how they picked winners from that. And that comic Inferno wasn't, I think it was only around for like 3 issues, because then they had some kind of like legal trouble with the movie that was tagged with it. Don't quote me on that. I just glanced at it on the internet. I thought this was kind of cool. So this is David Wohl and his new son, which he named Jonathan Douglas after J.D. Smith, the colorist, which I didn't know that Jonathan Douglas was what J.D. stood for. Still wonder why he was taken off as the colors. Originally, he was supposed to be coloring this arc, and not Peter. I mean, I'm glad that Peter took over. Of course, I think he's like the best colorist back then. Still really good now. It's just, man, like so many people caught up with the technology and stuff for coloring. Of the letters, nothing really stood out to me except for this one. This kid, he's 12 years old. He's a young artist, and he also beat um, cancer that he had. Hopefully, it's still beaten and he's alive. He would be 36 today. Daniel Callahan. So that's pretty cool. And he said I thought this was interesting. He goes, I think he's talking to Michael Turner. He goes, the message you and a fortune cookie gave me inspires me to give my fullest in everything I try to accomplish. Pretty cool letter. And then we get 6 issues of Witchblade Oba Kimono. Apologize if I don't say that right. I'm American. These, I think this is like a dream sequence. I don't really care for these kind of borders. They're too thin. The drawing is really good. And then, of course, she's waking up and some panels that I could make out better. All right. Oh, I always forget this. So I just wanted to pimp out my comic book that I have coming out. This is one of the pages I got reviewed on David Finch's channel. I liked how this is Sakal. He's kind of coming back together after he made himself into like a fog form, going through these guys' computers, and this guy's watching them over in this area. And then he gets a call from his boss. I got the colored version here. Let me just pull it up real quick. So yeah, my colorist, she did that. Hey, that's me talking. You see my reflection. I thought it was pretty good. He wasn't in my head. He was just supposed to be like a mist, like, you know, kind of gray looking. But she turned him green. It looks really cool though, so I wanted to keep that. And then I statted that. Let me grab the. So yeah, I just had her make that smaller right there for the final inks, final coloring, and light that like it's a blue screen. Pretty cool. All right. So yeah, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.